Back from USC and in the NFL, LenDale White joining us. LenDale, what's up, my man?
Oh, yeah. It's a little warm for me, but I love to be here, baby.
All right, little warm. Where are you at right now?
I'm actually at the Chop House. I'm not too far from French Quarter. I was down in Baton Rouge earlier this morning at the LSU camp with my nephews, and I had a good time, man. It was a first-class act. They treated us good. Seen BK and those guys, so it was pretty dope.
Okay, well, look, we're an LSU Saints podcast. We talk a lot of LSU and SEC and college football, but let's get into some of this LSU stuff.
Yes, sir.
Nephews were at LSU. You met BK. I saw you were down there, man.
Yeah.
Take us through that. Why were you down in Baton Rouge? I know you said the nephews, but how was it being around the BK and LSU?
Quick backstory. One of my best friends is Chris Johnson. I've been around his twins since they were born. You know, they call me uncle and whatnot. So we had picked we asked them to pick 3 camps that they wanted to go to. They picked Clemson, they picked Texas, and they picked LSU. So, you know, they picked the 3 and we brought them out here. And you know, they've been LSU fans. They love Odell Tyron, they love Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson and those guys, Joe Burrow. And I mean, it was just exciting to get those guys down here so they can just get a little feel. They're young kids, but it's nothing like seeing them light up when they get around some stuff like that.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, was this your first time at LSU, like on the campus, around the facilities? What's your thoughts about that?
It's crazy because I ran into I can't think of his name all the way right because I just met him today as the quarterback coach. But he went to
Sloan.
Yes, exactly. He went to school with Chris Johnson at ECU. So when we were just walking today out of nowhere, he comes and gets us, and they exchange a little bit, and he ends up taking us around the whole LSU stuff. So he actually got some LSU gear. I got to see all the trophies. I met some players and stuff today, man. You guys' facility is unbelievable, man. My guy Ed Orgeron left you guys in some great hands, man.
Well, let's speak on Edo. I mean, fight on. I mean, I got to ask Edo's story, man. Look,
yes, sir.
We talked to Warren Sapp. I think it was about a year ago, and we spent about an hour talking about Edo and the stories. Needless to say, the whole Rock, everything the Rock does, apparently he got from Ed Orgeron when they're in Miami. So what about Edo at USC? Now, Lindell, I got to say, Pete Carroll, I mean, that offense, Lane Kiffin. I mean, you had so many great coaches that were on that staff, but what about Edo and that staff that you can let our listeners know about that time?
Well, honestly, I mean, the first and foremost thing with Ed for me was that how genuine he was. He's always been the guy that you see. He's never, try to sugarcoat or coattail anything. He's always told you how it was, and that's something I can appreciate for a coach. But he recruited me at USC, and my first couple of weeks on campus, I remember that we had a guy that we used to call the Water Boy, and we used to do the Bobby Boucher. It's crazy. We were down in Louisiana, yeah. So we used to do the little. So every time they would call his name, we would do that. You know what I mean? We'd be like. So we did it one time, and Ed's like, "Hey, you mother hum! Next time when you guys do that, I'm gonna come back there and choke one of you motherfuckers, right?" And we like everybody's just cracking up, like, yeah, right. So the Water Boy got back up there again. And everybody started going, and man, if Ed didn't jump up and take off his shirt and say, "Hey, all you motherfuckers, come outside right now, I want all you." Yeah. And that's just how he was. He stuck up for everybody. But man, when he tells you he wanted to piece of you, he wasn't backing down. He meant come outside right now. He wanted to fight.
Hey, but man, something in the water down here, dog.
Nothing like Ed Orgeron, man. I have nothing but love for him, and I'm glad that I got my time with him at USC, and I'm glad we can share him with you guys because he brought some joy to you guys as well.
Oh man, that 19th season was insane, man.
Yeah, Joey B. I remember talking to Ed one time, and I said, "How do you guys feel?" He said, "Hey, so I'm gonna stop you right there. We got Joe." That's all he said. I'm thinking he's gonna give me some crazy answer. I'm like, "Hey, coach, how do you feel?" "Hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. We got Joe."
Well, he gave you a lot of credit. I mean, so I remember in a press conference, somebody asked him about Reggie Bush, and you guys, and he goes, "Thunder and lightning, thunder and lightning." He said he would bang cymbals and stuff. "Thunder and lightning, here they come." Yeah. And
yes, sir.
That's interesting. Now let me get off that with you. Did he recruit you? Was Ed a part of your recruitment? Any?
Actually, yeah, Ed was. It was Ed, Steve Sarkisian, and Lane Kiffin. They were definitely all a part of it. It's crazy. That's a crazy trio, right? Because all the successes that these guys is having now, it's crazy that, when I was around, they were just young pups, anxious to learn, getting the experience. And they were unbelievable teachers. I learned so much when I went to USC that, when I was so advanced when I got to the NFL because of the job that, Lane and Sark was able to do with me and just provide me all the information for the offense. When I got to the NFL, they used to just tell me like, oh, he got to, if you need to learn something, ask Lindell. He got all the info. So I'm thankful for those guys for sure.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Now that we look at it, you talking about Sark, you talk about Lane, you talk about Pete, you talk about all those guys and the team that you had. Lindell, I got to be honest, I don't want to say, because no disrespect to your coaches in the NFL, literally, yes, I don't mean it like that. But was it kind of a step down a little bit? I mean, look, man, you can't get more of an innovative than Sark and Lane on that same staff from offensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, but if you look at it anyway, I mean, you look at Norm Chow was around there. You have Pete Carroll. You got Coach Norton. When you honestly look at it, you can't knock it. I mean, Pete Carroll he had unbelievable success at USC, right? He leaves, he goes to Seattle. He has unbelievable success. So with that being said, it kind of was a step down in a sense because I'm not knocking nothing with Jeff Fisher. That's actually my favorite coach of all time, Jeff Fisher, by far. So that's he's my favorite. But yeah, when you go up there and you're used to getting coached a certain way, and you're used to these guys telling you a certain thing, and it's always about compete. And when you get to that next level, these guys are, it's all about that money sometimes. Right. So it ain't really about competing. It's like, I got my money, I got my check. You guys go do what you need to do, man. So, yeah, I honestly got to say that my coaching staff at USC probably hands down the best coaching staff I ever had.
Staying with USC, and I want to get to ask your opinion on, obviously, Lincoln. We talk a lot of college football here.
Yes, sir.
Look, man, you were part of and really was one of the staple, and you probably would have been the MVP of the game. Obviously, you know what game I'm going to ask about.
Yes, sir.
But Lindell, it's probably the best college football game of all time. Now, when you and Vince were in Tennessee together, did y'all ever chop it up about it? Like, what was that like?
You know what's crazy? I just left Houston, Texas right now, man. I was in Houston about on Monday, actually. I had a business meeting with Vince, still my brother, one of my greatest friends to this day. But the reason why I honestly believe that he's one of my friends like that is the first time that I seen Vince Young after the Rose Bowl was in Houston, Texas for the All-Star game. My cousin Chauncey was down there. He used to always invite me out. So I'll go down there with him. And I remember it was me and Tyronn Lue. And I think Chauncey might have been right there. And as I'm getting out the car, Vince Young is pulling up. This is All-Star game is right after the national championship game. So he's pulling up, and I'm like, oh shit, man! Like, you know what I mean? Like, god damn! Like, how bad can my luck be, right? So he pulls up, and he has like 5 G-Wagons, and he hops out, right? And the first thing he says was 2-1. What's up, baby? You know what I mean? And I shook his hand, and he never said anything about the game. He was like, man, you're in my city. If you need anything while you're here, you make sure you call me. I don't want you spending your money. You need somewhere to stay, whatever it is. You just let me know. I got you. And, fast forward 3 months after that, we both get drafted on the same team. So, I mean, it's kind of meant to be, man. Vince is an unbelievable character. He is hands down one of my best friends because of how genuine and how real he is. If he tells you he got you, he'll do anything he can to make sure he got you. He'll give you a shirt off his back. I know people say that a lot, but he's actually did that. Another story about that. One time I leave, we're in Tennessee. I lock my keys. I lose my keys somewhere. And so I get back to the flight, and I'm trying to get in my car. I don't have no keys or nothing. And it's like it's like $600 or $700. And I'm like, I might as well get another key. He's like, listen, take me home. You take my car. And that we could work that out. Fast forward you 4 months later. 4 months later, I still have his car. I finally get my keys at the Range Rover. And, I take his car back to him. He's like, man, I forgot you even had this. But mind you, I'm driving to work every day in his car. He sees it. So it's like,
hey, tell me you're rich without telling me you know that you're rich. I mean, like you forgot about a whole ass car. Dog,
yeah, Vince Young is a big dog, man.
Changed. I ain't got multiple cars. That's awesome. I see the 2-1. I gotta ask you this. I see the 2-1.
Yeah.
Deion, right? Like Deion was your
Yeah, that's the inspiration all the way. I thought I was prime time before prime time for sure. Like it was when 2-1 used to come on for starting at the Falcons. But when he went to San Fran for sure. But when he was at Dallas, I thought I was going to be Deion Sanders. But the whole time I was playing running back. But if that's the kind of impact he had on me, and I actually seen Shador, his son, in Vegas a few months back. And I was talking to him. He said, I see that 2-1. And I got into the story too about it. I was like, man, if you only knew, man, your dad is the reason for this, man. And I love it for him.
hey, you might tell him I love your daddy. I love your dad because look, Lindell, I got to be honest. This isn't trying to be a little fanboy, but like what you and Reggie and Matt and those guys did generated my generation, to want to go and play football. And Deion was probably that for a lot of guys like yourself and others. And I mean, that's what makes the game of football so great. But let me ask you this. What do you think about Deion and what he's doing at Jackson State, man? I mean,
I love it.
Killing it over there.
He did. He deserves red carpet. I wish that there was some type of money funds that we can continue to give to these HBCUs, but he's putting such a big light on it because, I mean, the fact that he got the #1 recruit or the Travis guy, and everybody's saying they paid him this, paid him that, but it's like, listen, we all know that these bigger programs have way more money to pay him. So if that was about the money, he wouldn't have went to Jackson State. He clearly went there because he's going to play for Deion. So I'm proud of Deion, man. I'm happy to see where he's going. I'm not sure if this is going to be his calling. The HBCU thing is going to be his calling much longer. Obviously, because Deion, what he's able to do and how he's recruiting, there's going to be a team that's going to probably offer him whatever he wants to come to one of the Power Five. So, I'm excited to see where his next step takes him. But as of right now, man, I couldn't be more happy for Deion. He deserves nothing but flowers right now. Shout out to you, Primetime.
Hey, and look, it's not just the Travis Hunter kid. I mean, he's getting multiple 4 stars. I mean, look, it doesn't even matter, Lindell, that we have this, one of our good friends and one of our producers hosts one of the HBCU podcasts, and he talks about, they talk about Travis Hunter, but what about the 4 stars? You don't see 4 stars going to little FCS schools, and Deion,
not at all.
Is bringing that. A couple more, and I thank you so much for your time, and then we'll get you on out of here. But Ant Marshall says, #Ask Lindell, what's your relationship right now with Reggie Bush?
Hey, I'm actually going to see Reggie next Friday. We have an event at USC to welcome Lincoln Riley and to probably try to, holler at some of our recruits. But yeah, I actually talk to Reggie on a regular basis, whether it's on Instagram, respond to one of his posts, or he texts me, or we text each other to see how we're doing. But yeah, Reggie's my guy, man. 5 is one of the coldest players that I've ever got to witness with my eyes, and by far the best college football player that I ever played with. So yes,
well,
man.
Obviously we're in Louisiana. He got drafted by the Saints, so obviously the Reggie thing here is a big thing. But let me ask you this on a personal note. I should have asked you this early in the day, maybe so you could think about it. But man, are you and Reggie the best 1-2 punch and running backs in history?
Without a doubt. See, listen, I'm not even going to sugarcoat shit. I'm not going to hide it. I will not do none of that. I was just in Clemson with CJ Spiller, and I seen his stats. I talked to Willis McGahee and CP and those guys. Those are my friends. We talk shit on a regular basis. By far, Miami thinks they're way better. But no, if you look at the stats and you look at what we were able to do in 3 years, and you just combine those numbers, yeah, nobody did with me and Reggie. And the fact that we were able to play in 3 straight national championship games, yeah, nobody did what me and Reggie did. Not Dalvin Cook, not Todd Gurley and those boys. Not, hey, I love you boys, but nah, ain't nobody colder than me and Reggie. No way. No way.
I want to kick this over to Lincoln and, fight on in USC. Look, it's always better when USC is better, right?
Yes,
like
sir.
When they're, climbing the top of the mountain and getting back there. But y'all made football in LA. Like y'all were the dudes, right? Like there was no, LA Rams, Aaron Donald, Sean McVay. Everybody was coming to y'all's practice.
Yes, sir.
Lincoln Riley now is coming here. He's obviously a big prestige coach. He's going back to USC. Is there a buzz now back at USC because he's there?
Man, I haven't seen my friends and my ex-former teammates so excited about what's going on yet. Yes, we've been getting, the Calebs and the Addisons, but that's exactly what we needed to see. The fact that we hired Lincoln and the fact that he was able to turn something around and get us, I forget how, I think it was top 20 recruiting class, but the #1 transfer portal.
Right.
I'm not mad at it. we wanted to see results, and we wanted to see results right away. Clay Helton was an unbelievable guy, man. I have nothing but love for him. You know, good luck down there, and I think he's down in Georgia State.
Yep.
But man, I couldn't be more happier that we have Lincoln. We needed a big name. Kids want to play for somebody that has done something or proven themselves. This guy has 2 number 1 picks, 2 Heisman Trophy winners in less than 10 years. What are we talking about, guys? Like, if it's not a time to get excited, our next year's class, we got Malachi, you know, we got Zach. We got some guys coming in, man. This is an exciting time to be a Trojan. I'm excited, man.
So you obviously keep up with it. I mean, look, I've talked to former players, NFL guys. I mean, it sounds like you're excited about all this, man. Like you're ready for it to rock.
I'm die hard and I'm in tune. When I tell you, like, I text these kids and I try to be a mentor, just somebody that they can roll something off when they need to. I'm really in tune with my team, and whatever I can do to help USC get back to where we need to be. Because like you said, when USC is good, you know, Ohio State, Penn State, when Florida State and Florida is good, college football is, you know, it feels like it's real. So like, man, it's time to get back on a pedestal. And you know, it's time to start fighting on, because it's been long for us. It's been a long damn near it's been close to 20 years. So yeah, it's time to get back in the swing of things and bring some championships back.
Last one, I'll get you out of here, Lindell. I would have told Vince that he was down on that pitch play for that first.
Oh yeah, his knee was down.
His knee was down. I would have told him. I never would have let him forget it. I think he felt bad. That's why he gave you the car for 4 months. You know what I mean?
Feel me?
He knew.
He knew how to sweeten it up.
Let me ask you this: NIL is a big deal now, right? I mean, it's kind of a twofold question, but how much money do you think that you and Reggie and all the guys would have made then? And number two, but the more serious question, how great do you think that this is, or not so great for kids to make money now in college?
First part of your question, I think me and Reggie the sky would have been the limit in LA, especially with how we were winning and, you know, the influence that USC has on LA. So it would have been crazy to see. I mean, it would have been millions and upon millions of dollars for sure. And then number 5 probably it would have been a whole bunch of money for him. But to answer your second part of the question, to me, it's like a catch-22 in a sense. I'm all for it, because we've been wanting these kids to get paid for so long, right? So now that they're getting paid, these coaches, you know, Saban, Jimbo, all these guys are, even the Ryan Day, they're coming out like, you know, this is how much we need, right?
Right.
They're already scratching it, but they've been wanting it for so long that they should have already had something implemented to have it going. Now that it's the wild, wild west, you can't be mad that even if somebody is offering a kid $5 or $10 million, you can't be mad. First of all, we're doing this and we play this game to hopefully get our family out of where we come from, or help them, you know, to add on to the legacy. So you can't be mad that some kid is going to chase some money, right? I just hope that, you know, and this is a plea to some of you kids out there. I hope that you guys are not chasing the money, but you're chasing your dream still, because the dream is to ultimately be great and to go to the NFL. If we stop with the money right now, that some of these kids are going to, you know, fall off. They're going to take the money and run. We're not going to see their true potential. So hopefully, you know, some of these kids, you know, they heed and listen to what I'm saying, but naturally you're going to have the knuckleheads. But the kids that it's meant to be, they'll find a way. They're going to find a way to get in with somebody and, you know, do the right thing with their money. So when they do, you know, you get the money at college, that they'll do the right thing and not get in trouble, and hopefully, like, you know, let that fall over to the NFL and do a great job, man.
Right. Lindell, you've been fantastic, man. I know you're doing the podcast with Believe. Have you guys launched that yet? And if you have, tell everybody where they can catch all your stuff.
Oh, yes, me and my homegirl, Kristen. But, you know, everything that Spotify, Apple, we on everything, you know. If you click under his page, I'm pretty sure you're going to find us. You know, I'm at The Real Lindell. I'm Showcase White on Instagram if you want to holler at me. But, yeah, I'm here for the people, man. But, yeah, the Trojans are back, baby, and we're here to whoop some ass, baby.
Well, let me say this. LSU and USC are playing each other in Vegas. I think it's in 2024. So we got a little ways before we get that. Lindell, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be doing the show live from Vegas. We need to bring you on set in person.
We need to do a split show. We could do the split show.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm with you. Let's do the
All
split
right.
show. We'll
I'll
we
be
plan
there.
that now.
All right, I'll be there. I'll never mind. I start getting excited when we talk football in the opening game, and it's in Vegas. How can you get it better, man? How can you get it better?
We're gonna whip some ass. So I hope y'all ready. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk my shit in person. I'm just gonna.
My God, I like that, baby. Let's do it.
All right, Lindell. Thank you so much, man. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, I think thank you guys for having me. Believe Sports, we're up to something, you guys. And
No
I
doubt.
just told him, man, fight on, because the Trojans is coming, baby.
Yes, indeed. We'll talk to you soon, brother. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Fight on.